There comes a time in every person's life when the noise of the world becomes too heavy to carry, when the constant search for approval, success, and meaning begins to crumble under its own weight. In that quiet collapse, a truth begins to whisper that maybe what we've been looking for has been within us all along, that the road we travel, with all its turns and losses, is not leading us somewhere new, but leading us home. We spend years chasing after things we believe will complete us. Relationships, achievements, recognition, beauty, power. But even when we reach them, something inside remains unsatisfied, as if the soul knows that these are only reflections, not the source. The deeper truth is that nothing outside of us can truly fill what was never empty to begin with. We only lose sight of ourselves when we mistake the mirror for the face, the shadow for the light. The road back to yourself begins the moment you stop running from your own reflection. It begins when you dare to face your fears, not as enemies, but as forgotten parts of who you are. The anger, the sorrow, the doubt, they are not signs of failure. They are the guardians of your transformation. They appear to guide you inward, toward understanding, not away from it. Pain has a strange way of revealing truth. When everything you depended on falls apart, when the person you thought you were no longer makes sense, that is, when something new is born. The breaking is not the end. It is the doorway. The heart cracks not to destroy, but to let the light through. To love your suffering is not to enjoy it, but to stop resisting it. Every resistance feeds pain with more strength. But when you look at it without fear, it loses its power. It becomes a message, a teacher dressed in darkness. Suffering, once understood, transforms into wisdom. Wisdom itself is not something you can learn from books or from the words of others. Knowledge can be shared, but wisdom must be lived. It grows quietly, like roots in the soil of your own experience. And often it grows through mistakes, through loss, through all the things you once wished had never happened. Each wound carries a lesson, and each lesson brings you closer to yourself. To know yourself is not to list your qualities or to identify your opinions. It is to meet the silence beneath your thoughts, the stillness that watches them come and go. When you discover that silence, you realize that you were never the noise, never the confusion, only the awareness observing it all. Faith and doubt walk hand in hand. Those who have never doubted have never truly believed, because belief that has never faced darkness is only imitation. Real faith is born from questioning, from falling and rising again. It is the courage to stand in the unknown and still whisper, "I trust." Letting go is the most courageous act of all. It takes more strength to release than to hold on. We cling to the past because it feels safe, to people because they make us feel seen, to pain because it feels familiar. But true freedom begins when you learn to open your hands and allow life to move as it will. When you stop fighting against the flow, you begin to float. Everything that is meant for you comes naturally when you are no longer chasing it. You don't need to force the universe to give you what is already yours. You only need to become ready to receive it. Readiness is not a matter of time. It is a matter of alignment. When your inner world becomes calm, your outer world reflects that peace. Loneliness is not punishment. It is the space where you meet your own soul. Most people fear it because it strips away distraction. But solitude is the birthplace of understanding. It teaches you to listen, not to others, but to the quiet truth that speaks from within. When you can sit alone and feel complete, then you are finally free. Love, too, is misunderstood. We think of it as something to find, to earn, or to keep. But love cannot be possessed. It is not a reward for good behavior or a gift from another person. It is the natural fragrance of a soul that has found peace within itself. When you love someone truly, you don't love them because they complete you. You love them because you already feel whole. And from that wholeness you wish to share, not to own. To live with love means to see beauty even in imperfection. To forgive without condition. To understand that every human being, like yourself, is learning, stumbling, and searching. When you recognize this, compassion awakens. And with compassion comes strength, not the strength to dominate, but the strength to embrace. Happiness is not a destination. It's a way of traveling. It's not a place you arrive at. It's the manner in which you move through life. It's not about what happens to you, but how you meet what happens. The happiest people are not those with the easiest lives, but those who have learned to turn pain into meaning and meaning into peace. Ego is the great illusion. It makes you believe that you are separate from everything and everyone else. It tells you that you must win, prove, and compete. But the truth is that nothing real can be lost, and nothing true can be compared. When you stop trying to be better than others, you begin to become yourself. Maturity begins when you realize that life is not about being right, but about being kind. It's about understanding rather than judging, about giving rather than demanding. The most evolved souls are not those who speak the loudest, but those who listen the deepest. Opinions change with time. What seems true today may be false tomorrow. Truth is not a fixed point. It is alive, breathing, and expanding as we grow. Sometimes what contradicts us is what frees us, because in every truth, the opposite is also true, depending on where you stand. The mind loves to divide and label, but the soul embraces paradox. Light and dark, joy and sorrow, faith and fear. They are not enemies but partners in the dance of becoming. To reject one is to misunderstand the other. Wholeness is not found in perfection, but in integration. When you take yourself too seriously, life becomes heavy. You forget that existence is both sacred and playful. To laugh at yourself is to remember your place in the vastness of everything. The universe is not demanding your perfection, only your presence. Every life is a journey toward the same destination, self-understanding. Each event, every meeting, every loss is a signpost pointing you back to yourself. No one can walk that road for you, but everyone you meet plays a part in showing you the way. Sometimes they show you love, sometimes they show you pain, but always they show you you. You do not find your purpose, you grow into it. Purpose is not a fixed idea, but a living expression of your soul. It changes as you change, deepens as you awaken. It's not something you achieve. It is something you remember. We are all students of life, and life is the only teacher that never gives up on us. It speaks through experience, through joy, through silence, through failure. And the moment you stop labeling things as good or bad, you begin to understand the lesson hidden within each of them. The real revolution is not in the world. It is in the mind. When a person learns to govern themselves with awareness and love, the need for control disappears. You cannot change the world without first changing the way you see it. And when your vision changes, everything else follows. Seek less and find more. Because seeking means to chase, but finding means to open. When you stop searching for meaning, meaning begins to appear everywhere. In the sunrise, in laughter, in the stillness of an ordinary moment. The sacred hides inside the simple. And remember, life does not ask for you to become someone else. It asks you to recognize yourself, to see your own reflection in the mirror of existence and say, I am enough. Because the purpose of this journey is not perfection, it's authenticity. Not to escape what you are, but to embrace it completely. Each of us is a traveler, carrying fragments of eternity in human form. We fall, we rise, we lose, we find, and through it all, we learn to love a little more deeply. In the end, what remains is not what we achieved or possessed, but what we understood. The road back to yourself is not a straight line. It's a spiral. You will revisit old lessons with new eyes. You will fall again, but differently, with more grace. You will realize that even your mistakes were necessary steps on the path home. So slow down. Breathe, let the world spin as it must, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Not behind, not ahead, just here now, because here is where you meet yourself. And in meeting yourself, you meet the whole universe.